The final moments before showtime. That is Josee Choinard, three-time Canadian champion. We are live at the Ottawa Civic Centre, the 1996 Royal Bank Canadian Figure Skating Championships. Tonight, the women's free skate. CTV, Canada's figure skating network, brings you inside a very excited Civic Centre in Ottawa. Tonight, over my shoulder is a very excited Jennifer Robinson, sitting second after the women's short program. A very simple equation tonight, folks. There can only be one champion, and one ticket remains for a berth at the World Championships next month in Edmonton. With more to set the stage, let's join Dan Matheson and Barb Underhill.
With all this talk about Josee Choinard, a lot of people are suspecting she could mail it in. She just breezed through this thing. Foregone conclusion, she's the queen of skating. Right or wrong?
Wrong. Josee, if she skates well, she is by far the best skater, the only skater that can really make a real impact at the world level. However, we all know that Josee has her share of problems in competition. So if she doesn't skate well, we've got Susan Humphries, who I'm sure is going to come out here gangbusters, and as well Jennifer Robinson, who looks excellent in practice today, and she's extremely determined. And
a very interesting draw in that of the last flight of all the top skaters, Josee has to go first. So she has to really push it. She does not know how high the bar is going to be.
That's right. She's not crazy about skating first, but you kind of got to go with what you're dealt, and hopefully she'll skate well tonight.
So we may have a new queen tonight, or an old one.
Susan Humphries getting ready. 6 women, 1 ticket to the Worlds. Only one can be champion. We will be back live to Ottawa after this. The final 6 competitors getting ready for the final flight tonight in Ottawa, a flight towards a dream fulfilled. And welcome back, everyone. Tonight it's the women's free skate, tomorrow night the men's free skate, and tomorrow afternoon here on CTV, the pairs free skate. And before we get to the women, we have to tell you a story and some concern tonight surrounding the health of Christy Sargent and Chris Wirtz, a pairs team who stand second after last night's short program. In practice earlier today, Christy and Chris fell. Christy suffered bruises to parts of her body, but Chris took the worst of it. He hit his head on the ice. He was released from hospital a few moments ago. He suffered a concussion. They will monitor his progress overnight. They will make a decision based on the doctors tomorrow. They will talk with a neurosurgeon to see if he will be able to skate tomorrow. So we wish Chris and Christy our very best tonight. Now we are ready for the women's free skate. Last night, if you were with us, the short program, Josee Choinard, the 26-year-old three-time Canadian champion, the leader. After a year off, turning pro, she's back. Second position right now, second place last year, Jennifer Robinson. She will skate last tonight. The surprise, Cathy Belanger, the 21-year-old from Trois-Rivières, Quebec. She will be a challenger. And how about Susan Humphries? Just 20 years old and already scanning the spectrum of glory and despair. Injuries have taken their toll, but so has a bitter separation from her former coach.
You go along, you're having success, and everything's going really well, and you think, this is what it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be sacrificing. I'm supposed to feel bad. I'm supposed to cry every day. This is supposed to be the right way. This is how you get to the top. The injury was what really opened my eyes to it. I dealt with the injury for about 5 months with no support. And then realizing that, this isn't right. I'm not being seen here as a person. I'm being seen here as a vehicle to success. I needed someone just to tell me that it was going to be okay and that I'm going to stand by you through this. It was like, in your time of need when you're really down, it's like kicking you when you're down. That's the person you've been trying to please and to do everything for, and then suddenly you need something in return and you don't get it. My mom had called and said, kind of asked what was going on, and she just said, well, I don't know if I want to coach her anymore. It was a blessing because it should have been my choice to begin with. I wasn't strong enough to make that choice, knowing that it was the right thing to do. And that's one thing that I dealt with for a long time after, is dealing with why didn't I protect myself? Why didn't I think of myself first? But, until you're outside of the situation, you really can't see what's going on. I just know that with my coach now, I know that the person who comes first is Susan the person, not Susan the skater. My year this year, doesn't solely rest on this national championship. There's been so many strides that I've made this year that I can already be proud of. this is not my last chance. So, you know, this is just the beginning of a new era for me.
A bronze medalist twice, a silver medalist once. Maybe tonight she might strike gold. The women's free skate when we come back. When figures were still a requirement in single skating, judges would actually get down on hand and knee to examine the lines the edges made in the ice. Judging the women's event has evolved from the days of Sonia Henney and later Barbara Ann Scott. Adjudication used to be quite different, but over the years the women's event has changed form to more closely resemble the men's.
For her time, Sonia Henney and Barbara Ann Scott were brilliant skaters, the same as Christy Yamaguchi and Midori Ito were brilliant skaters at their time. But what they were doing is quite a distance between it. All of a sudden we had the Midori Ito type skaters who were very athletic, and now they've raised the level of female skating almost to male skating. I mean, Midori Ito certainly did a very successful triple axel. And the girls now at the World Championships, the successful ones, are all completing up to and including a triple lutz jump.
I think the women were perhaps more inclined to be feminine and more artistic to start with. I think now they're losing some of it because there's a great devotion to trying to get these triples, and sometimes a beautiful double is more enhancing to the program than poor triples and several falls.
Packed house here at the Ottawa Civic Center. Over 10,000 people cheering on Elva Stojko earlier today, looking to crown a new women's champion. It won't be the old women's champion. Nettie Kim skated in the second flight, and she just blew up in the short program yesterday and will not be a factor today. But will Josee Choinard claim her fourth Canadian championship? That's a question. But she has a lot of challengers, and Josee has been known on occasion to have a little trouble when the pressure is on. She also has a deep bone bruise on her left ankle. So she has to go out there knowing she has some pain to sit through.
Well, the jump that ankle injury really affects is the triple toe loop. And she's been missing it quite often here, although she landed it last night. She was very surprised actually last night that she missed the triple lutz, because she said that's been the one that she's been very consistent on this week. She opens with the triple sow cow. Doubled it.
Doubled it. What does that say to you, Bart?
It says she's nervous and she better sort of
Get a grip.
get a grip and get under control here, because this is the triple lutz. She has 5 triples left. And that was supposed to be one of them, but she doubled it. She needs this one. Triple flip. Double. She's really not on tonight. of herself in the air. She doubled the triple toe again. She has yet to land a triple at this point. Triple left. And she does it. The last one. That was gutsy.
If you've lost the thread of the Josee Choinard story, it was in '94 that she retired almost in disgust from amateur skating. She'd done so well in Canada, but she'd never risen to the height she'd set for herself internationally. Tried the pro ranks for a couple of years and now has come back looking for another Canadian championship, which at this point certainly looks like it will elude her.
Well, she's definitely left the door wide open.
She has always worn her emotions on her sleeve, and I think that face tells the story. Louis Stong trying to tell Josee things will be all right.
Well, she's come back this year with a new perspective. She knows that this isn't everything, but here's the triple Lutz. She just wasn't over top of that foot to land.
Now, this has been a tough night for all the women when it comes to jumping.
Yes, we've seen mistakes all over the place up until this point. And here's the page of elements where normally we would see very many triples. She had 7 planned. She only completed 1 tonight.
Yes, I didn't hit the first.
She just didn't have it from the very beginning. The very first triple she downgraded. Seconds into the program for no apparent reason. The marks for technical merit. There is a 5.4 there.
Which I think is even a little high, considering what she completed.
She's in first place, but there's room at the top.
Du club patronat del cycle Paris, Nancy Lemieux.
Nancy Lemieux is 20. She's from Brossard. She is in 5th place heading into the long program, just behind Susan Humphreys.
And her goal here coming to Canadians was to finish in the top 8, so already she's accomplished what she has set out to do. She has some problems with consistency on her jumps, though. She lands a triple toe, double loop. Very nice combination to start with. Down on the triple loop. Looks like she didn't quite get enough rotation. She has a very wrapped free leg on her jump, and it makes it difficult to rotate with the speed that you need for a triple jump.
This long program is very much the same one Nancy used last year, although she's added a triple loop and a triple flip. She says it's now packed with stuff.
Very nice spin. Beautiful variation to the camel spin. And here's that triple flip. Oh, she doubled it.
Nancy has a lot riding on this program. She finished 12th at the Canadians last year, and afterwards, very disappointed, said she was going to give it one more try to crack into the upper echelons.
Comfortable out there. She looks like she's enjoying herself. And I'm sure it's a big surprise for her to be skating in this last group of women. Very nice illusion spin. We don't see that very often. But some tough balls as well.
Nancy Lemieux and the Canadian Championships continue. Nancy Lemieux awaiting the verdict.
And of all the triple jumps, she landed 2. Both were triple toe loops.
The first set of marks up to 5.2, a couple of those.
And they stay around the same range.
Oh, a little wag of the head. That puts her into second position behind Josee Choinard, but there certainly is still a lot of room at the top of that leaderboard.
There is.
Now here's a lady that could make a big difference. Susan Humphries is a remarkable skater when she's on. She really had a disastrous skate for her in the short program. And I think she must feel fortunate to be in 4th position heading into the long program.
And that was largely because there were so many mistakes in the short program. She was able to stay that close. And it's possible for Susan to win. Even though she's in 4th place, she can win if she wins the free skate and Josee is 3rd.
And Susan's been so close so long. Bronze medalist last year, 2nd the year before to only Josee Choinard, 3rd the year before.
She opens with a triple toe combination. Beautiful. Double Lutz. She had not planned on doing the triple Latin today. Triple Salchow. And she doubled it. The most important triple jump for her comes next. Triple flip. She didn't get her toe in the ice. Such a beautiful combination of power and grace that when she adds the triples to it, she is just a wonderful skater to watch. She has a lot of ballet training. You can see that here with this beautiful extension. A hard fall on the triple loop. That's the third triple she's landed. She seems to go in spurts here.
Susan trains at the Royal Glenora Club in Edmonton and has spent a lot of time over the years with Christy Yamaguchi and Kurt Browning, and Myers respects them. If she could get their consistency with jumps, look out.
And another triple toe loop. Well, this will be interesting because although she had some major errors,
so did the leader. From Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Susan Humphries. The Canadian Championships continue on CTV. Susan Humphries is coached by the Allmarks at the Royal Glenora in Edmonton. That's Cynthia Allmark.
I think she's pretty happy with that performance. She showed some real toughness. This was a beautiful triple toe off the top of the program into a double toe. She came out really strong. Unfortunately, she had a couple of major falls, but she did manage to complete 4 triples, 2 triple toe loops and 2 triple Salchows. That's 3 more than Josee did.
No, but I don't have a triple toe.
I think she's checking your checklist. Does that look complete? First set of marks. There is a 5.5 there, but there's also a 4.9.
Well, this next set is very important.
They're respectable, but not quite good enough.
Josee beat her on the presentation mark, and they kept her above.
Susan
Look
Humphries
at the ordinals.
is in second place.
She had 2 first place.
Now, here's a lady maybe we haven't told you quite enough about yet. Cathy Belanger really came into this championship series unsung, but boy, was she remarkable in the short program. She made a lot of people sit up and take notice.
There are her parents who have never been to a national championships before, and this is her 7th. So it's nice for them to be watching tonight.
Well, Cathy's from Thetford Mines, Quebec, and that's not too far away.
Opens with a triple toe loop. She had one of the very few clean short programs last night. Triple flip. Remember, she's sitting in 3rd spot right now. If she wins the free skate, she wins it all. Oh, miss on the triple lutz. The loop, and she doubles it.
Cathy is one of those skaters who says she's been a long-time admirer of Josee Choinard, but when it comes to jumping, she'd like to jump like Christy Yamaguchi.
A lot of skaters would. Unfortunate fall right there at the end. I think when you compare this performance with, say, Susan Humphries or Josee Choinard, she has a long way to go in terms of the artistic impression. So she needs every single triple that she has in her arsenal. Tonight they weren't there, so I don't think this will be her night tonight.
21-year-old Cathy Belanger. We'll be right back. Lots more to come. Cathy was at the Canadians last year and finished in 6th position. She said something was missing last year because Josee wasn't there. Well, Josee's back.
A lot of skaters thought that.
The big star wasn't there.
Here's her triple flip, which she performed very well. She managed to land 2 triples in the program, the flip and as well the triple toe loop. We're not seeing a lot of landed triples out there tonight. Usually that list would be a lot longer.
The marks for technical merit from 4.7 to a 5.3. And for presentation, also peaking at 5.3. Kathy's long-term goal is to make it to the Olympic team by 98. That's not out of sight. She's in third place so far behind Susan Humphreys, who's second, and Josee Choinard, who leads.
Angela Josee.
In sixth position after the short program, a woman who on any given night can really do the jumps and could make the difference tonight.
Well, Angie's a great jumper. Not extremely consistent, but when she's on, she has beautiful technique.
Fourth at the Canadians last year, fifth the year before. Angie DeRoche, 22, from Trenton, Ontario.
Triple lutz, and she singled out on that one. Didn't seem to get the toe in right. You really need that toe to get the vault up in the air for the jump. If it doesn't go in right, you don't go up.
Storyline to this long program. Angie says this is fiction about her sister getting married. She gets jealous and tries to draw attention to herself.
That should have been a triple Salchow, and it was a double. She's struggling with the jumps as well tonight. Double toe. She has a very similar style of jumping to Nancy Kerrigan, I find. But I think the one area that really needs improvement is in her presentation and the way that she projects out to the audience. Free leg out in time there on the triple Salchow.
Angela DeRoche is the one who said all the women would have to add triples with Josee Choinard back in competition this year.
Well, we're seeing a lot of them take more risks than they might have. We're also seeing a lot of disappointed faces here tonight. Not a lot of smiles.
We'll be back. When asked to handicap her own strengths and weaknesses, Angela knows that her power is a strength, but she needs some consistency with the jumps.
And I think she just simply needs to find more passion in her movements, in her arm movements, in her projection. Here's a triple Salchow, which she had difficulties with. Wasn't far enough around in the rotation. You need to land completely backwards on the jumps to land them cleanly. You see here she landed 2 triples, both toe loops.
That's why we wanted to
5-1,
Pretty much, I think, what everyone expected. Now, there's that secret message.
4-8, 5-1, 5-2, 5-0.
And the march for presentation will leave Angie in 5th position.
4-6, 5-1.
And Josee Choinard is running out of challengers. There is, in fact, but one skater left, and this woman could win.
And you know Josee is holding her breath right now.
Jennifer Robinson, just 2 years ago, the Canadian junior champion, made a bit of a splash last year at the Canadians, but wow, this year, she has been so tough. She impresses people with her stamina, her courage, and her willingness to get up and do it again.
And what really counts here is mental toughness. Last night in the warm-up, she hit the boards twice. She got up and she landed the jump. She's gutsy.
Jennifer's only 19, from Windsor, Ontario, now coached by Doug Lee in Barrie.
Opening with the triple Salchow, and she doubled it.
A little grimace, too, as she came down. Like the
There
jump
you
had
go.
a life of its own.
Triple toe loop. It looks like that first double made her mad. Here comes the triple Lutz. And she doubled it. Triple is the one that seems to give her the most trouble. The flip. Oh, she's doing the loop. And she lands it. Triple flip, and she doubled it.
6'7". Jennifer's very tall for a single skater. She's been working very hard this past year and getting more aggressive.
Second triple Lutz. She was pretty happy with that. Well, this is going to be very interesting. Technically, this is a much stronger program than Josee's. Going into the triple loop. Couldn't get the free leg out. But she's had mistakes too. And when you compare the two programs, I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't. Josee is a more powerful skater, more speed.
And in the old days of politicking, the question might have been, who do you want to send to the World Championship?
And that maybe is what this could come down to.
Just 19, Jennifer Robinson. She could be the new champion. Always a good sign when you have a lot of flowers to pick up on the ice. Jennifer Robinson, second after the short program. Maybe the new Canadian champion.
It was very gutsy to throw this triple Lutz in at the very end. However, it did have a 2-foot landing, so she had several mistakes in the program.
5-4, 5-4,
These marks are very strong.
5-2.
It's all going to come down to the presentation mark, which program they like the best.
Barb, you said her technical score would be higher. You're right. Now what happens?
5-4, 5-4.
Presentation or enough. The new Canadian champion. Six out of the 9 judges ranked that the best free skate you've seen tonight.
And she won it on pure gut.
In third place, Susan Humphrey. In fifth place, Nancy Lemieux.
Boy, a proud moment for Jennifer Robinson from Windsor, Ontario, coached by Doug and Michelle Lee. You saw them flanking her. So the final standings look like this. Josee Choinard has to settle for the silver medal. Susan Humphries has moved up to third spot, followed by Kathy Belanger and Nancy Lemieux. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the coronation of a champion. Sounds good, doesn't it?
It sounds amazing. It's wonderful.
Barbara Underhill just said, you got guts, girl, throwing that Lutz in at the end.
Yeah, it's planned, but I really wanted to do it really bad because I had a lot riding on it, and I really knew I could do it, and I wasn't tired, and I just gave it that extra little bit.
Tell us about backstage, skating last and knowing what you had to do. How much did you know?
I knew a little bit. I didn't know a whole lot, but it was a big test for me because I usually have difficulty skating last, and this was a really, really big test, and I'm glad I passed.
You're a champion. You're going to the Worlds again. Your folks are here. I think they're coming to see you.
I hope so. They're somewhere.
You can say hi to anybody you want again.
Hi, Jay, and hi, everybody in Barrie and Windsor. I love you guys lots, and thank you so much for the support. Hey, Perk, Mrs. Perkins, I'll be home soon.
Well, I'll tell you, Windsor's very proud, so is Barrie, and you should be very proud. Jennifer Robinson, new Canadian women's figure skating champion. We'll be back.